When creating and delivering lead magnets, you might be looking at different tools that you need for research, for creating the lead magnet, for then delivering the lead magnet using different pages like thank you pages and so on, which can often be a long process. But in this video I'm going to show you a software which is called Subpage that simplifies the lead magnet creation process, so you can do everything inside just one software. We will cover 6 ways to create high conversion lead magnets, how to gate your content so that you can exchange it for contact information and generate leads, how to manage and export your leads, and also how to cut out your worst performing leads, keeping the best ones and increasing conversion rates. After signing up to your Subpage account, this is the main dashboard that you will see. Here you can take a quick look at your lead magnet analytics, which shows you the total visitors, leads and conversion rate for the last 7 days, and you can see those stats in numbers right here at the right corner. So you have here the views, leads and conversion rate. And then you can also see that same information on a chart, which will show you the relation between those metrics. For example, how many views you need to get a certain amount of leads, and the conversion rate of your views into leads. And then you can here switch the time frame, so you can see those analytics for the last 3 days, last 7 days, last 30 days, and last 90 days. You would probably use the last 30 days more often. And as you can see, I have 0 right here because I'm testing the software. Then at the bottom we have the Subpage Academy, and this is where you can learn how to create lead magnets that convert using Subpage. So let's first take a look at the lead magnet section. So let's go with the first option here, which is edit the main page. And the main page is a hub for all of your lead magnets, but you can always select which lead magnets will appear on this page and which will be hidden if you want to do so. You can see this has an editor that is similar to what Notion looks like, so it is block based, and then you can click here and you can add all of those different types of blocks. And you also have on this page this default block here, which will show the lead magnets that you have with a cover. So if I click on edit block settings, you can see here the number of columns, which you can select here to display content. Then you can see that this will show the cover images, show the description, and also show the button if you wish to do so. Then you can click on save or view page. I'm not going to go too much in depth on the editor as I will be mentioning it later on. So let's jump into the lead magnets. So in this section, you will be able to create and manage your lead magnets. You can see some stats for the specific lead magnet. So here we have a table with the title of the lead magnet, the status, so if it's a draft or already published, the views, leads, conversion rate, last updated, the date when it was created, and some action. So you can click here and then click on page URL default domain to see the page URL. We can edit the project, view analytics for this specific lead magnet, view the leads, duplicate the project, create template from project. So you can create templates based on your existing lead magnets and then use those for different lead magnets. For example, if you have a certain structure that's repeatable, then it will work very well, even for different niches. You can also force unlock the project, but this will only work for admins, and you can also delete the project. As you saw earlier on the dashboard, you will see stats for all of the lead magnets, while here you can see the stats for each individual one. You have also some helpful options here, so you can search all the lead magnets if you have a ton of those, and use a keyword here, and this will usually match your title. And you can also sort this with different options, so you have newest first, older first, title from A to Z or Z to A, most views, least views, most leads, least leads, best conversion rate and worst conversion rate. So the last two I would say are the most useful, as if you have a lot of lead magnets, you can go here and click on best conversion rate, and this will show you at the top the lead magnets that have the best conversion rate. So if you are testing multiple lead magnets for the same niche, you could then list all of those here, take a look at the conversion rates, and maybe reconsider the ones that are performing the worst, given that they have a similar amount of views, and then you can cut those out or edit them. And then you can also filter those by a date, so you can input here the numbers manually, or you can select it on a calendar. And now I'm going to show you the options that you have when it comes to creating lead magnets. So you have from scratch, if you want to create a lead magnet from scratch using the editor, so you will get a blank page and you can start from anything that you want. Then you also have an option from Google Docs, and this will allow you to copy paste the content from Google Docs to a subpage lead magnet. So if, for example, you have on your Google Docs bullet points, then those bullet points will be recognized on the subpage editor. You also have the AI assistant, where you can enter a topic and the AI will create a lead magnet for you. And this is a premium option, which will use 1 credit. And then you have the AI assistant from Files, which will create a lead magnet using any files that you upload. And this is also premium, and it will cost you 3 credits. Another option is the AI assistant from Link option, and this will let you enter a URL and the AI will create a lead magnet for you. This is very good because if you have a blog post or something like that that you want to repurpose, then you can enter it here and it will use that to create a lead magnet. This also costs 3 credits. And then we also have another option. This is better for content creators on YouTube, and this will allow you to enter a YouTube video URL and let the AI create a lead magnet for you. So if you have a YouTube video that you just created and you want to create a lead magnet related to that video, then you can use this option, and this is also premium, and it will cost you 2 credits per 10 minutes. Then there's also a Notion option that's coming soon, where you can import from your Notion workspace. Both these options from scratch and from Google Docs will start at the same point. So if you click on here, you will still get a blank page as well. It just means that the editor itself is compatible with Google Docs. So I have a template here, so let's just copy a string of it. Hit Ctrl+C. Now if we go back to Subpage, Ctrl+V, and as you can see, it maintains almost the same format. So it will be compatible out of the box. But then if you want to edit, let's say those bullet points, you can then just go here and then go to bullet list and change that to checklist, and now it matches the exact same format. Now let's take a look at the AI options. So starting with AI Assistant, then click Create. After you have chosen one of those, you can then quickly change between the options right here. So you can go from the topic to URL to YouTube or from files just using this bar. Now you can see that they have very similar input. So essentially you would be building or engineering a prompt where you will have to insert the topic, target audience, the content type, content tone, content length, and the language. So if we switch to URL, instead of a topic, you have a URL. From YouTube, you have a YouTube URL. And then from files, you have here an input to just upload your files. Everything else remains the same. What this does is that it makes it easy to use AI inside of your Subpage workflow, but that doesn't mean that you can't use other tools like ChatGPT and then come here and, for example, import your PDF files or just use copy-paste and format that. So let's try out the from topic option. This field is pretty big, so I assume that you can write a big text if you want to make your generation more specific, or you could use AI to generate a brief summary of something you want to create. So let's say that my target audience is the following: content creators on YouTube who want to grow their newsletter audience with lead magnets. So pretty specific, and you can go much more in depth with this to get more accurate results. Then here you have the content type. So there's a lot of stuff you can use. So you have a guide, checklist, a template, a white paper, ebook, toolkit, framework, cheat sheet, assessment, swipe file, workbook, case studies, reports, playbook, and a blueprint. So let's try the framework. And now for the content length, you have short, medium, and long. Let's go with medium, which is default. And then content tone, you would choose a tone which matches your brand. So in this case, I'm going to choose either conversational or educational, but you also have technical, inspirational, analytical, authoritative, empathetic, practical, and academic. So let's go with educational. And now let's click on generate lead magnet. Now we have here the lead magnet, which is complete. So you can actually go here with the tool, and then if you have the credits, you can batch create multiple lead magnets using AI and wait for those to complete. Now let's take a look at the lead generation lead magnet, and now it's done. You have here understanding lead generation, what is lead generation, and then you have multiple subtopics covering the basics of lead generation. Then you have here another page for lead generation strategies, and this will tell you multiple lead generation strategies. Then tools and technologies. So you have here the tools that someone might need to create lead magnets and generate leads. And then here you have, for example, content tools for content creators like Canva, WordPress, and BuzzSumo. And then here you have the next steps, which are some action steps. So you have define your target audience, choose the right channels, create compelling offers, optimize landing pages, implement lead nurturing strategies, measure your success, and stay informed and adapt. So this is the framework format. You can then click on create page or close. So let's click on create page. And now as you can see, we have this lead magnet ready to go. Then here you can see all of those tabs, and then you can here replace the name of your lead magnet. For example, lead generation for content creators. This would be a very generic title, but it's just so that we can differentiate from all of the other ones. If you want something more structured, but you don't want to start from scratch, then you can go here into templates, and this will have a ton of different templates that you can start from. So it has 3 pages of it, and then you can search here, or you can go here and filter by organization templates and public templates. So you have templates using different formats like framework, template, toolkit, guides, checklists, playbook, toolkit, and sometimes you have also very good ideas for different lead magnets. So here you can see we have mistakes and lessons, and then gated content, category point of view, 5 main points, do's and don'ts, I just, and then you have life achievement, lessons about a certain topic, world's most valuable skill. If you want the outcome, here are the status, and then followed by person and company's rules for a certain topic, and the growth strategy template. So all of these templates use formats that are proven to convert, or at least they follow good copywriting principles. So let's take a look at this one. So you can click here to see the template, and here you have the template. And then you can replace these placeholders to create new content. So you can get ideas from those. And again, here on the title, you also have a placeholder as well for the elements that you want to replace. And here you have the tabs. And then to start using that template, you can click on create page here, or you can just click on use template. Now, if we jump into the my collected leads tab, here is where you can see all the leads collected by all your lead magnets. So this table will show you the name, if you collected the name for that lead, the email, the source, which in this case is gated content, then the lead magnet from where this lead was collected. So in this case it is lead gen for content creators. Then you have the date and the action, so if you want to delete that lead. This is just a temporary email, so it doesn't really exist, but if you use something like double opt-in, then if the person would not confirm that, then it would be an extra way for you to avoid fake emails. And then again, if you want to browse through all of the leads, you can use the search bar at the top. You can also sort the leads by the newest, first, oldest, the email A to Z, and the name as well. And then you also have the dates. And then if you want to export the leads, you can click on the green button here that says export, and this will export a CSV file that you can download. Now let's take a look at the editor. So here is our lead gen for content creators lead magnet. On the left side here we have some navigation options like the content editor, page variables, lead generation, page widgets, and then for analytics we have page analytics and page leads, which will show all leads for this page. You have the settings with preferences, SEO settings, page scripts and CSS, and export as a PDF. You can click here to show the editor tutorial if you don't know exactly where something is that you want to change. You can click here on save to save your lead magnet. You can click on share to get the link for it. So if you click on here, you can just copy paste the link, whether that's for the draft or the published version, or you can also copy the link here to start collecting leads. So let's close this. You can also switch here between the draft and published, and you can click here to preview your page. So this one was generated with AI, and as you can see it already has a cover image, but you can also upload another cover image right here by clicking on the button upload cover. Then we have here the tabs, so you can select if you want to render the content continuously, which essentially means that you can access the content throughout all of the tabs by just scrolling up or down instead of needing to select those. So let's take a look here at the content itself. So this is the name of the lead magnet, which you can easily switch. And this is where the blocks come in, so you can start typing and that will be a simple block of text, or you can use the / for commands. And you can also click on this plus button here to add blocks, but of course I recommend you use the / and as you get used to writing this way, you will notice that it is much faster to build a page. In fact, you can build a page like if you were writing a document. For example, let's type in the / and now you can just select a block, and a lot of these blocks also have some shortcuts. If you want to, you can just type in the / and then you select the element you want to add, and it will be very fast. So we have addings, we have an adding from 1 to 3. So essentially you can enter some titles and subtitles, and then you have basic blocks where you can enter a numbered list. So this is a list with ordered items. You then have a bullet list, a checklist. When a user is visiting the page, they can just check the box for each one of the elements. Then you have paragraphs, which you can just write. You don't always need to select that block. You have code blocks if you want to enter a piece of code or something like that, or anything else that you want to highlight for a visitor, because they can just copy paste that line and use it somewhere else. And then you have some other advanced blocks. So you have a table, you have images, video, audio, you can also embed a file, you also have emojis, and for custom you can enter an alert. You can also enter a lead collection form, which will also let you gate content. You also have a Calendly integration, which means that you can embed a meeting scheduler on the page. You can also embed a YouTube video. You can also enter a gated file, so it's another way to gate content. For example, if you have a page with some content and then you have a gated file with a framework or a checklist to execute a specific strategy. You also have a block quote where you can cite a piece of text. You have dividers. You can also enter a Loom video, and you also have gated links, so another way to gate content. You can also insert a button for CTAs, for example, and you can also enter HTML blocks. For example, if you want to use an external form or something like that. And you also have a countdown if you want to use scarcity on one of your pages. So as you can see, this has a ton of different blocks that you can add. You just go on and you can select anything you want. Now let's take a look at the page variables. So here you can enter variables like a name, an email or phone number to customize or make your lead magnet page more personalized. So here it has all of these steps. You add the variable separated by commas in the input below. You use the variable name in the title or content. and then you can add the parameters for each variable to the URL when sharing the page. And then here you have an example. And the variable will be replaced with the actual value when the page is rendered. So let's say that I want to set a name here. I just enter a name. Then you can go here and hit save. First I'm going to copy this string right here. So let's hit save. Now if we go to the content editor, I can go here and then let's say I want to put the name here. So I delete content creators, then enter here the variable name. So it is just name. Then we can save here. And now we can go here and share or open the preview. And now here, as you can see, this is lead gen 4 and it is empty. So if we then pass the variable here in the link, so we enter question mark followed by name and then the name of the user using my name, which is Hugo. And now let's type enter. That exact page variable was used here. So if you are delivering this to someone with that name, then it will appear here. Let's say I want to start with someone else's name. So let's type in here A, and then we type again the variable, which is this one, name. And then let's hit here to save. Let's now see the preview. So here, as you can see, if you have multiple elements throughout the page using the variable, it will work everywhere. So you have here the name and then again here the name on the text as well. So this is very useful for creating personalized lead magnets while also increasing conversion rates. Now here on the lead generation section is where you can select the way that you gate or lock your content, so you can set the lead generation methods for the page. Here you have multiple lead generation methods. So right now I have a squeeze page and this will show on the preview. In this case, the squeeze page will block all the content and only show a pop-up which says unlock content. The content is locked. Please enter your email. And then this will collect the email. And it also has the terms and conditions so that you won't have any problems with GDPR, for example, in Europe. Now you also have gated content. So if you click on here, you can see the preview as well. This will show you a bit of the content and then you will need to enter the name and email to unlock it. So here you can change the title of the gated content pop-up. You can change the description right here. And then you can also change how much of the content you want to show on the page. So here by default it comes with 300 pixels, which is good enough, but it depends on how you design your page. So if you have more spaces, images and so on, you might want to change that. So let's change that to 500. And then as you can see, it will show a bit more of the content. And then here on the button, you can change the name here, for example, to get access. And then we've changed the CTA button. You can also change the field. So if you want the name, phone number and email, usually you would use for the form fields name and email, or just email if you want to reduce the friction and if you want to get more leads. But with the name, you will have the advantage of being able to personalize everything, including your emails, by using the variable on your email or even on your landing pages when using Subpage. Another option is the password gated. So you can gate the content using a password. So if you have multiple viewers or users that want to access the same lead magnet, you could provide a password that's memorable, or you could enter a completely random password as well. And then you also have tab gating. In this case, if your page has multiple tabs, you can just go here and gate specific tabs here. So for example, you have the lead magnet that we've created, and then you have all of the tabs with the correct title, and then you can select which tabs you want to gate. So let's say we just want to gate lead generation strategies. Then here the preview remains the same, but then if you go to the next tab, you can see that it is gated. And then here again, you can change the form title, form description, form fields, and that's it for this option. Then you have two new options for extra verification, and this is only available for premium accounts, which is double opt-in. So this will help you verify emails with code before unlocking the content, which provides an extra layer of security. So this will help you filter out emails from people who are not that active or even fake emails. So you can select any of these extra verification toggles because they will work with the previous option. And you can also enable Google Sign in and lock. So this will essentially add a extra option, as you can see right here, where you have unlock with Google and you still have the email option as well. Now here you have page widgets. This is where you can set page widgets for this specific page, which include two options, the alert bar and the pop-up. The alert bar will display a call to action alert bar at the top of the page, while the pop-up will display a pop-up with a call to action, and you can enable both. So if you enable the alert bar, you can then select the text, the button text and the button link, and for the pop-up you can display a pop-up with a call to action. And then here you can select the pop-up title, pop-up description, button, the time after which it will appear or pop up, and then you have the form field. So let's save that, and now if we go here into the preview, let's refresh, and here you can see at the top is the alert bar, and after 5 seconds here you see the pop-up. Then in page leads is where you can see all the leads for this page, and the options are very similar to the other tab that I showed you for all the leads. That includes leads from all the pages. Then we have preferences, and here you can change the page slug, which is this number that appears here after subpage.co, and then you can also click here to copy the slug. You can also disable or enable here a couple of options. So if you click on here, you can disable the do you like this resource footer for this page, and then here you can make the page private or hide it from the listing page. So essentially your listing page is the page that you can use as a resource center. For example, if you are using this as a resources section on your website, this will be very useful because you can then hide the pages that are exclusive lead magnets or lead magnets that you don't want to show on that page. You can also remove the subpage branding from the page, but this will only work for premium accounts. So I can click here and then save and apply those changes. Then for SEO settings, there's quite a bit you can change here. So you can disable the search engine indexing for this page, which is the particular page for the lead magnet we just mentioned, and you can change the SEO meta title, the SEO meta description, SEO meta tags, and the image. In this preview, we'll show you a social media share preview. So when you change the elements, this will change. Now we have the title, which is the SEO title, the SEO meta description. We can add in tags here, like this will also be used for the SEO metadata that you will see when using Google. And then you can change the image here, which will show up in here as well. And then you have this option, which is export as PDF, and this will just export your page and show you all of this stuff here. So here you have all of the content in a PDF file. Then on the custom domain section is where you can add your own custom domain to make sure that URL looks much better and more branded. So you can add mysubpage.co as a CNAME record in your DNS settings. Then you will need to wait for the DNS to propagate, verify the domain, and then you will be able to use your custom domain name here. And as you can see, this is also a premium feature which will only work on premium accounts. We also have some integrations here which include Zapier, and Zapier works with 3000 plus apps. So if you require a lot of different integrations from different apps, then you can use Zapier. You also have here this, which is RB2B, and this allows you to identify anonymous website visitors and push their LinkedIn profiles to Slack in real time, which is a very neat integration. And you also have this one, which is face2face.io, and this lets you talk to your customers live on your website. And then you also have webhooks and API, and this will notify external services when an event occurs in your organization. This might be very useful as the webhooks might work on a lot of different software. And this is also a premium feature, and then you can click here to view and create webhooks. You then click create webhook, and you can enter a name, URL, and then select the event, for example, when a lead is created. And you can also select a page or leave it blank for all pages. So for example, when a new lead is created, you can then pass that information to another software like the active pieces, which is the example right here. To manage your organizations, you can go here and click on the username and then click on manage organizations. And here you can add a new organization by typing in the organization name, then the slug, and then click on create organization. Right now I have one under my name. In your organizations you can see the role and the members of the organization, so it will typically have one admin and then you will have more people that are added in, which can be part of your team, freelancers, or anyone else who might be working with you. So you can click here on view organization. So this is where you can go here and update the settings of your organization. You can change the name and the organization slug, and you can also manage the members here. So I can remove it, or I can go to invitations, and then you can see here the roles, in this case only member because the admin is already there. And then you can click on here to send the invitation. The person accepts the invitation and they will be added as a member to that organization, and now they can work with you using Subpage. Subpage makes it very easy to create, manage, and optimize your lead magnets all within the same software. If you want to try out the software, you can click the link down in the description and get access to the free trial where you can create an account, take a look at the dashboard, create some lead magnets and see if it works for you. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a like and subscribe, and let me know in the comment section if you would like to see some content about ChatGPT where I will show you some more ideas or different ways that you can use it to create high quality lead magnets. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.